So, situation is with my mom. I I used to have like good relationship like when I was growing up, but then everything turned like sideways when I started to be a teenager and all that stuff, and it never got like good again. It was just like bad and bad. And then it came to the point where for whatever situation that I was going through, she stopped talking to me. And it's a weird thing because before I would think that that's actually a good thing in a way because I'm just letting her do whatever she wants to do, and I can do whatever I want to do without worrying about her inputs or anything like that. But then that started to bothering me because like there's a comparison that I have almost every day with my mother-in-law. My wife talks to her almost every day, so it's almost inevitable for me to compare my situation with hers. And it's like I see that they have such a good relationship and they talk about anything, and it's good. And then I compare it to mine, like it's not good at all. So so yeah, I think I want to question that thought that it's been like coming over and over. I'm trying to like push away, but it's like I'm angry with my mom because she stopped talking to me. Because she
Okay.
literally like we were on WhatsApp group and like she blocked me and that was it. And that happened like a few months ago. I don't even recall how many, but it's been like a few months. So yeah, I like to question that.
Okay, let's do it. So your mother stopped talking to you. Is it true?
Yes.
And can you absolutely know it's true? She stopped talking to you.
Yeah, that one is very clear because she's the one that blocked me. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So how do you react when you think your mother stopped talking to you?
I kind of get confused because I have like a battle going inside of me where I think that's better because like our relationship is not the greatest. So there's always like arguments involved and all that kind of stuff. So it's I don't think it's healthy. So in a way I say like, oh, it's better that she stopped talking because then we're not gonna have an argument and she can have her life and whatever she wants to do, she can do and all that stuff. And I can do the same. But at the same time, the other side of me is fighting and like, but that's not the way it should be. Like you should be able to get back to a healthy relationship and like just talk and have a regular mother and son conversation and relationship. So see, I feel like frustrated because of that. And I don't know, I get lost because I don't know what to do. Like I tried before like to talk to her and have a relationship, and it's kind of one of those things where you everything starts like on a good note because I have a desire of having a good relationship towards her, but like the relationship starts going down and down until it gets toxic again, and it's not good for me at all because I start getting angry and mad, and I wouldn't say anything, but like my attitude changes and everything like starts to fall apart. It feels like in my personal life with my wife and my kids and all that stuff. So I know it's unhealthy. So I don't know. It's really weird. And I feel like out of place. And I feel like the comparison is the one that's killing me. Comparing my wife's relationship with her mother and mine is like, I kind of beat up myself because of that too. Like I feel like, oh, I should have had a better relationship as well. Like I should have handled it better, or I should like take more hits in a way and have more patience and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it gets tough, and I just don't know what to do. I just feel lost, and I
Mm.
don't know if I should give her a call and try to get everything back to quote unquote normal, having those kind of like the situations and do that, or just not do it at all. But then like the thought comes back, and it's like one day I'll think like, okay, it's better to live it this way for now until she feels like, okay, it's time for us to talk again. But then my thinking starts like fighting again. It's like, oh, but you should have a good relationship with her.
Mhm.
So it's like I feel like I'm constantly battling that, and I forget about it, and it's all good. And then I listen to my wife talking to her mom, and it's like it comes back. It's like a daily reminder of that situation. Like, oh, there's some unsolved business that I need to take care of, and I'm like trying to push it away or something like that. So yeah, I feel powerless in a way too, because I've tried to do that before, and it doesn't end well. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Like I just feel that I'm lost in the middle of somewhere, and there are no directions where to go. Like, so just questioning myself, should I do this or should I not do it? And trying to find that balance, it's not easy at all. Like I'm totally lost in there, in that kind of middle.
Yeah, yeah. So you described your reactions so thoroughly and so clearly. Um, yeah. So who would you be without the thought that she stopped talking to you? And this is always a tricky one because we're dealing with a fact here, right? She did
Mm,
stop talking to you. So
right.
so when we're questioning a fact, you have to hold this question a little more lightly. Who would you be without the thought she stopped talking to me? So we're not trying to deny the fact that that she blocked you on WhatsApp and hasn't talked to you since for some months. But who would you be if you weren't so strongly focused on that idea that she stopped talking to you?
Mm. I can see that I would feel lighter. And in a weird way, the situation like goes away from that WhatsApp thing to a more open one, meaning I can still call her. Like it's not that she blocked me out of everything and I can't have any contact with her at all. So I just realized that because she blocked me in there doesn't mean that I can't talk to her at all. So it feels freeing in a way. Hmm. Yeah, it feels like I have control. That control that I lost when I was thinking that she blocked me and I couldn't talk to her even if I wanted to. Like without the thought, I'm back in control because of that same reason, because I can give her a call. I could even grab my wife's phone and talk to her if I wanted to. So they're like options. Before it was just like blocked. Okay, I'll have to wait until she unblocks me or decides to talk to me again. And I can see, hmm, I can see like there's something going on with the responsibility of that fact. not being on me. So that's interesting because I wasn't the one that blocked her at all. She just blocked me out of nowhere, pretty much. So there
Mm.
was nothing that happened that I said something to her or something like that. So that guiltiness that maybe I was feeling because I was thinking that it's not there. When I look at it that way, it's more, there's more acceptance to what happened and like the fact that maybe she needs some time to talk to me again, or she felt that she needed to be away for whatever reason. So yeah, I feel like more understanding about what happened, and I see like myself detaching from that a little bit and not feeling responsible for that, which is kind of what I was feeling before. When I'm fully into that, it's like on me. It's my responsibility. I should have done that differently or whatever. But without the thought, I'm not the one who did it. So so that's interesting. It opens up a lot of different possibilities too. And it even opens up the possibility of me talking to her, even though I know she doesn't want to talk to me. Or I don't know if she wants to talk to me. She blocks me, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't want to talk to me at all. So yeah, it gets more open
Mm.
and it frees me up from that guilt that I was perhaps not feeling intentionally, or I was not even aware that I was there, that it was there. And I go back to me and what I can do and what I can control. Like just like I said, I can give her a call. I could text her from my wife's phone if I wanted to, just to see how she's doing or whatever. So that feels great. I'm not like trapped, not in there.
Yeah. What gives that feeling of trappedness is the thought, she stopped talking to me. And when you're focused on that, then it's like you described, powerless. Because you just see that closed door, can't do anything. She stopped talking to me, and there's nothing you can do. Without that thought, even though she did stop talking to you, if you don't have the thought, if you're not focused on that, then all these other possibilities start to open and it feels less stuck. So that thought is what gives that experience of feeling powerless and stuck. She stopped talking to me. So let's try turning the thought around just to see what options are there. So she stopped talking to me. What would a turnaround for that thought be?
I stopped talking to her.
Okay. So how could that be as true?
Hmm. It's actually true because even though she blocked me, I could still call her and I didn't do it. So that's 100% true. I could have done it at any point and I haven't done it. So,
Right. You took her stopping talking to you as, oh, now I can't talk to her, so you just didn't
right,
talk to her anymore. But that was your conclusion, right? That was your action.
right. Like what you mentioned before, it's like I was talking, like I feel like it's a door that is closed, and I'm just focused on that door, like 1 feet away from it, and I'm not
Mm.
seeing anything else, and I'm just waiting for her to open the door. That's
Right.
exactly how I feel, like stuck in there, just waiting and waiting. It's like I can do anything else, but if I
Right.
see it from the other side, it's like oh, there's not only a door, there's a whole house I can go into. Like I can still go to the kitchen, or I can go around it and go outside. So, that's interesting.
Yeah, this is like laser vision. I'm only focused on that one door, it's the WhatsApp door. Like the only way to communicate with my mother is through WhatsApp, and she blocked me. So what can I do? I'm blocked.
Right. Yeah. And in my head, I I stopped talking to her also because in my mind I was like just being like the devil's lawyer in a way. When you say like, okay, if they're doing this to me, I'll just do the same. So if they stop talking to me, I'll just stop talking to them. So it's fair, right? Like
Yeah. It happens automatically. It happens so quickly because what is it? It's reaction, right? She stopped talking to me. How do I react when I think she stopped talking to me? I stopped talking to her. It's like it's a reaction. So it happens so quickly. I don't even know that I'm doing it. But that is when you slow it down and look at it, that's what's actually happening here. You stopped talking to her just as much as she stopped talking to you.
right. So interesting.
Yeah. Which means that if you become aware of that, you have the choice. You may decide to continue not talking to her because you just prefer not to, or if you want to, you could explore other ways of communicating with her.
Mm, right.
You're not you're not powerless, in other words, because the original thought is she stopped talking to me and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm powerless. But we're not seeing that. It's like, no, no, I stopped talking to her also. And that means I could start talking to her again if I wanted to.
Right. That gives me that power back. What I
Mm,
was not feeling of just making a decision if I wanted to do it or not,
yeah,
and not leaving it on her to decide if she wants to do it. So yeah,
exactly. Exactly. That's like the easy way. Like I'll just leave it all on her, and then, but in the meantime, I'm suffering here because I'm stuck. Yeah. So when I take that power back, or I realize that I still have that power, now I have the choice. I might decide, oh, I'd like to just continue with some non-communication and and enjoy that. Maybe that's fine to enjoy that, right? Or I might say, I'm wanting to reach out, and then I find if I do that,
yeah,
that's that's freedom. Even with a closed door, WhatsApp door is closed. You can't. You're blocked. It's that door's closed. But even with a closed door, there's still freedom. That's what the work brings in. Is that I still have choice. I'm not powerless.
hmm, so
I mean,
cool.
it's like if somebody dies, I can't talk to them, but I might still be able to talk to them, right? There's so many ways.
Right. It's only you putting the limit in there and believing the thought that blocks you from seeing everything else around it.
That's it. We become hypnotized by the thought. She stopped talking to me, and so now I'm just hypnotized. I can't think of anything else. I'm totally, yeah. Everything is decided. It's done, and I have no choice.
Right.
So, is there another turnaround? She stopped talking to me.
Let's see. I'm not seeing any obvious one. Do you see one?
I see one, yeah. I stopped talking to me.
Hmm. Right. Wow, that's so true. Even in this situation, I just completely forgot about it. And it's true. It's so true because I focused, just like I mentioned before, I was just like in that door, just 1 inch away from it, just waiting for her to open up, that I forgot about what I want to do or how I feel or what I think about the situation and just keep going. Hmm. Wow. That's so freeing. Yeah, I stopped. Not only I was just like not thinking about me at all, but I also forgot about what other opportunities I have, like the options that we talked about before that I didn't have, but not related to her, but actually to me. Like you
Mm.
mentioned, you can talk to her or not, but now going into this question is like, what do I want to do? And having that power back brings me back to myself, which I forgot in the whole situation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that question, what do I want to do? That's me talking to me. That's me asking me a question. What do I want to do? And when I really engage with that, then I start to have that conversation with myself, and then I can kind of decide, oh, maybe I want to talk to her, or maybe I don't want to talk to her, or whatever, right? It doesn't matter what the outcome is. It's the conversation I'm having with myself that starts to make
Right.
me feel like, yeah, I'm I'm heard. I can listen to myself. I can find out what I want.
Hmm. That's so cool because it makes me think also about not putting too much thinking into it. Just like talk if you want to talk and don't talk if you don't want to talk. Just like, because I notice when I put too much thinking into it, like, oh, what is going to happen and that, and I go to that future or what could happen, it's like I'm predisposing myself to whatever she may say or not, and that
Right.
may not even happen at all.
Exactly. You're putting an idea of what it should happen, right? We should
Right.
talk, and you have this idea of it's good if we're talking, it's bad if we're not talking, and so, but if you didn't have these are all related thoughts you can question, but if they weren't there, then you can just literally ask yourself, do I want to talk with her or not? And if it's not, you just great, okay, perfect. And if it is, great, okay, perfect. How do I talk to her? Like, that's the only missing thing. But what happens is when she stops talking to me, I stop talking to myself. I just become like, like at attention, like don't, oh, she stopped talking to me. I better just freeze and don't do anything. Now I'm lost. I can't even access myself.
Hmm. That's so cool. It makes me even like think about being selfish, going back to me in a way of
Hmm.
doing it for me, like
Hmm.
if I want to feel a little bit better or if I just want to do it, don't think about the other person involved, whoever that is. In this case, my mom, but don't think about it. Just think about like, oh, I want to get that. I want to have a better feeling of like, oh, I talked to her, so I feel better about that. And just being selfish about that simple part
Yeah,
without like thinking about the outcome or whatever that happens.
exactly. So it's a kind of a good kind of selfish, where it's like when you're not in their business, that kind of selfish. I'm just
Right.
in my own business, not in their business. So I'm not worried about what they're going to think or anything. It's just what feels right to me. That's me talking to myself. And that's me staying in my own business. And that feels free. It feels good. That's
That's so
always
cool.
available. That's the amazing thing. That's always available. Even when somebody blocks me, it's I just forget that it's available because I'm so hypnotized by that blocking that I can only think about the blocking. And I'm just like, I can't breathe until that door gets unblocked. But the there was so much here. That's what we're discovering. It's even if she completely blocks me, I can sit with myself and ask myself, what do I want to do? It's that simple.
Yeah, that's so cool. And it's just an app. It's not even the whole phone.
Right,
It's just an app.
right. Exactly. She just closed one door out of an infinite number of doors, and then I just take it as I can't do anything. So,
Right. Yeah, I think you described it well, the freezing. It's just like you feel like you can't do anything at all because they she decided to do that. So I'm frozen until she decides otherwise. And I
exactly.
forget that I have the power to unfreeze myself and do
Yeah.
anything
Like,
else.
who gave her that power? You gave her that, you know?
Right.
So that's it happened out of reaction. So it just happened unconsciously, quickly, and you just gave her the power. But the more you become conscious of it, then the more you realize, oh, I don't have to give her all that power.
Mm,
I can respect she closed the door, but I also have a lot of options here.
yeah.
Yeah. And just that process for me of asking myself, what do I want to do? Like that, like we were just saying, that's me conversing with myself. Just that process begins something beautiful inside of myself because I'm asking myself this open question and then I have to sit and listen. And I have to listen for something. It's like a feeling comes up from inside there. And when I start listening to that feeling, whatever it is, it's going to give me more direction, more clarity. But just the process of asking myself and listening to that feeling is so beautiful. It feels like connection. It feels like, yeah, it feels like I'm home. So it's exactly what we do when we're asking these questions in the work, right? But it's the same thing just in life. Oh, what do I want to do? And then really waiting, taking my time to find out. It might be days or months before I get an answer. Doesn't matter, right? But that's the conversation I'm having with myself. And it can be a very enjoyable kind of conversation. Nobody blocked it.
That's
So
great.
let's see if there's another turnaround. She stopped talking to me. What's the
Um,
very opposite of she stopped talking to me?
she didn't. She
She
did
did.
not stop talking
Okay.
to me.
So here we are dealing with a fact, right? We know it's true. And we're questioning it anyway. And that's what we do in the work sometimes is just question it anyway. See, is there any wiggle room? Is there anything, right? So is it
Wow.
possible that she didn't stop talking to you even though she did stop talking to you? I don't know. I'm just asking the question.
Hmm. It's weird, but it goes back to what you just mentioned there. Like, I'm the one giving her that power. If I don't give her that power, she didn't stop talking to me.
Yeah.
Wow. That's that's a huge one
Who
too.
has the power here?
Right.
Yeah. you concluded that she stopped talking to you because she blocked you on WhatsApp. But who knows? And maybe it's true, but that was a conclusion that you made.
Right. But if I don't give her that power, like even if you stop talking to somebody and they come talk to you, you have to say something back. Like even if it's a yes or a no, whatever. Like so that's not
Yeah,
literally stop talking.
right. You didn't test the theory. She stopped talking to you. Maybe it's true, but you never actually tested it to see. Maybe she will, if you say, "Hey, are you not talking to me?" She'll say, "Yes, I'm not talking to you." Okay, so she's talking to me.
Right. Wow. That's so interesting. But it goes back to that power because I think obviously because she's my mom, that connection of you being a child and your mom telling you don't do something, like it's still there, right? So it's gonna be there
Absolutely.
your whole life.
Yes.
So in my brain, it kind of made that connection. So that totally makes sense. And me giving her that power to keep doing that, even though she doesn't have it anymore. Like
Yeah.
not as I was a kid. Like,
It's like she trained you, right? You know, parents train their kids. When you say no, then you just don't do anything.
right, don't touch
And
that.
then
You
yeah,
freeze.
don't
Like
don't touch that. And then you're like, oh, you freeze and you don't do anything. And they trained
right,
you to do that because it's good for, keeping the order in the house. But it's like as you become adult more and more, like it doesn't have to be absolute. I don't have to be like the perfect child just saying, when she says no, then I shut off completely.
mhm,
And I give her only all the power. No, we start to become adults, two adults together, and we share the power. And that's like a different thing than being only a child.
right. That's so cool. Yeah, and that makes me realize also that I can talk to her even if she doesn't want to talk to me.
You're free. That's right.
I have the
You were
power back.
believing that you were not free because she said, don't talk to me, or she blocked you. And so you assumed that means she says, don't talk to me.
Mm,
Then you can't, you think you're not free to talk to her, but you are. You could talk to her. You have the right, right?
yeah.
She may not listen to you. That's her business, but you can talk to her if you want to. Yeah.
Do my part, that's it.
Mhm.
Wow.
So she didn't stop talking to me. Like, we're not sure, really. It's not absolute.
And just like you said was a big one too. She didn't say don't talk to me ever or don't say anything. She just blocked me. So that's a different thing. Even
Mhm.
if you say it in the heat of the moment, it doesn't really mean fully what you're saying. So
That's right. That's right. It might be truer that she reacted to something and closed that door, but doesn't necessarily mean she doesn't ever want to hear me again. Yeah. So these are all examples of she didn't stop talking to me, even though it looks like she did. Yeah. So this is all still just the world of possibilities, and we don't know for sure anything, but just playing with these possibilities softens the feeling. That's what happens when we do the work. And then you'll find out, you can start talking to yourself and finding out what you want to do, and then if you end up talking with her, then you'll find out what she wants or doesn't want, and yeah, no problem. So some of the underlying beliefs that can be questioned relating to this is like, I should have a good relationship with her, right? I um, and or I should have a relationship like my mother-in-law has with my wife, right? Um, and and this is not the way it's supposed to be, right? We should be back to a regular relationship. We or those self blames, I should be more patient, or it's my responsibility, um, or even just she doesn't want to talk to me, right? That's an underlying belief. So all of these kind of things that came up while we were working, they can be different pieces of the puzzle. You can do the work on some of those as well. But yeah, I think a lot of cool insight just in this piece of work just now. So thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.